Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman says he's not protecting Canelo in lieu of his failed drug test with Clenbuterol. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Also shout out to the Forbes.com. The link is in the description. They have an interview with WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman, and he says his job is to be neutral and give the whole Canelo failed drug test a fair shake. Now, unless you live under a rock, you should know that Canelo, in his preparations for the Golovkin 2 rematch, he failed some drug tests. He had something called Clenbuterol in his system. It was on 2 tests. He, I think, has conducted three tests since that point, and those have all showed negative, but it still doesn't account for it or explain the first 2 failed tests with Clenbuterol. Team Canelo attributes it to being in Mexico, where Canelo is from, and eating contaminated meat somewhere, tainted meat, which is a possibility. But in lieu of this type of situation, you got people who feel different ways about the situation. This is what Sulaiman had to say in this Forbes interview. Canelo enrolled voluntarily in the clean boxing program and has been tested by VADA for over 5 years in countless fights. We consider that also as a fact. There has never been a positive test, and these tests have been out of competition, which means they are random surprise testing to make sure the clean boxing program works properly. As a high-level competition athlete, Canelo should have a very strong team behind him, and they should have been cautious. But also you have to look at the human aspect. He was in Mexico, going back and forth, going to several commitments. This could be the result of one appetizer, one steak, one event where he had one taco. I am not trying to protect Canelo. Believe me, this was an opportunity for the WBC and myself to take on the last year of abuse that we received from his side. It is well documented that there have been problems from the fighter against the WBC for some reasons. But we have to be completely neutral. We have to be fair, and justice has to prevail. So obviously, Sulaiman feels he's received maybe some criticism from fans saying, hey, why are you allowing this? The WBC has the clean boxing program. And this stems from a lot of the sanctioning bodies, including the WBC, recently stated that they stand behind Canelo and he's a clean athlete. Listen, I'm just going to give my thoughts. My thoughts haven't changed. I'm frankly getting tired of this whole situation, to be honest. Really, because I feel like there's an asterisk by the fight now, one way or the other. Either he's guilty or he's innocent, and no one really knows unless you're part of Canelo's team. I mean, I've seen people in the comment section, they turn into Matlock and Perry Mason. Oh, he has a picogram and this and the gigahertz. Like, I mean, ultimately, unless you're there, unless you've seen him inject something, swallow something, you really can't, off of this, you can't confirm or deny. You could say, oh, it looks suspicious. Like, see, and this is the thing. People want to play detectives and act like it's the court of law. But if you know anything about the court of law, like you actually study law, then you will know that in the court, you can't usually convict somebody with nothing but circumstantial evidence. Now, I am not saying Canelo is innocent. I am merely saying I don't know if he is innocent or guilty. And again, if anyone out there is not Team Reynoso, Team Canelo, Canelo himself, and they are telling you in 100% sincerity, I know he's guilty with no further proof other than the reports in the failed drug test, then pretty much they're lying. Because unless you, like I said, have some real direct connection to that camp and you know what they're doing, you know what I'm saying? But just off of reports. Now, I do understand some people are saying, hey, a failed test is a failed test. I get that. But it is plausible that it could be tainted meat, but it is also very plausible that it could have been you were flushing your system using this diuretic, or you were using the Clenbuterol because you're trying to get some kind of advantage. You have stamina issues or whatever. So I don't know. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep reiterating that. And again, if someone's claiming that they do know 100% what happened, then you need to tell them to show receipts. How do you know this? Other than what we all know is that he failed the 2 drug tests. But I will say this on the flip side of everything. You got to look at this matter. And this has been going on for at least a few years. I mean, I can date it back from a boxing perspective to a fight I watched. Eric Morales, Mexican warrior, known legend in the sport, Clenbuterol in the system in the Danny Garcia rematch. That fight was in 2012 when Golden Boy used to work with Al Heyman and be on HBO and all that, right? So that was quite some time ago. It's been a while since Heyman fighters work with Golden Boy directly on a frequent basis and were on HBO and stuff like that, except for like Danny Jacobs. I'm just talking about the whole group of PBC fighters. It's been a while. So 2012, and we're still running into this. Francisco Vargas, another WBC fight. The fight with Eric Morales, that was in 2012, and Danny Garcia. And now Canelo Triple G. And guess what? These fights are still allowed to continue. And again, I mean, like I said, you can point the finger. You can say he's guilty. You say he's innocent. I don't really expect anything less from the WBC. Like he said, he had beef. Him and Canelo were having beef. They finally squashed the beef. So if he's just like, oh, I don't know, Canelo might be guilty, then that's going to re-agitate the whole situation. So bottom line is the fight's going to be allowed to continue from my perspective, taking an educated guess. It seems to be there's no way to prove it. They don't have any kind of standardized testing where they're either people aren't paying for the additional testing or whatever, to the point where we can get more information on how this was ingested. I do have questions about what Suleiman said. He said you can eat 1 taco and have this in your system. You know what I mean? I really want to know the likelihood, because again, I'm not gonna pretend to be like I work for VADA or something like this, like I'm some chemist or forensic pathologist or something like that. Some people, oh, it's a picogram, and like, you got to look at it like this. In the court of law, most people, you won't convict them off of look at OJ. Look at, I'm not black, I'm OJ. You know what I mean? There's a lot of evidence that supports maybe he did do it or knows who did it, but they didn't convict him. You know what I mean? So you can't convict someone solely, usually in the court of law. Everyone's acting like they're district attorneys and lawyers and attorneys and stuff like that. But I mean, all of this is circumstantial evidence. You could look at Canelo's physique and say, hey, he bulked up. Hey, look at his body transformation. A lot of circumstantial evidence. But again, it's plausible that it could be tainted meat. I don't know how likely that is, but you know what I mean? It's also plausible that he was cheating. You know what I mean? I don't know, like I said, the particulars about if 1 taco would give him the amount. But again, I'm sick of talking about it realistically, because I don't think it's just like, you know, the Adelaide Bird. A lot of people want to kick and scream, and they weren't going to do nothing to her. I mean, if you watch boxing, you'll know little stuff like this swept under the rug. Everyone gripes and complains, oh, this is ridiculous. Look at Adelaide Bird's scorecard. 2 months later, Adelaide Bird already back working fights. So bottom line, I don't think the fight's getting canceled. Let me know if you think Suleiman is protecting Canelo. Let me know what you personally think is the situation. Is he guilty? Is he honest? Like I said, I'm tired of talking about it. And unless you're part of that faction, I don't know that there's anyone that could say in all certainty that it's either way, either side, guilty or innocent. Like I said, unless you have some kind of direct plug to the situation. I would love to hear about that. But other than that, it's just a lot of finger pointing, a lot of people trying to exonerate Canelo. Oh, he would never cheat. It was a taco. How you know? How you know he wouldn't cheat? You know what I mean? Especially if he's moving up in weight fighting a killer like Gennady Golovkin. How do you know he doesn't feel the need to cheat? But then again, the flip side of that coin, how do you know he wasn't in Mexico and then he consumed something, which has been a reported problem? Even the NFL released it. So I don't know what happened. I'm not going to claim that I know. I'm not, oh, I've done my research and as the pico watts and the picograms, and like I'm not gonna sit up here in front like I know what happened, but what I do know is the fight is gonna be allowed to continue. Cash rules everything around me. Cream get the money, and the fight's gonna go on May 5th. Let me know what you think happened. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think Mauricio Sulaiman and the WBC and other sanctioning bodies are protecting Canelo? Is he guilty? Do you think he's innocent? Point the finger. Leave your thoughts and theories. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.